When we first arrived in Portugal 3 years ago, the idea of gutting and renovating this entire house felt truly overwhelming.
It smells funny in there. Come on.
Look about the beautiful. Let's get stuck into the gnarly.
And when we set out on building this temporary wooden extension, it was with a real sense of uncertainty.
How do you think it's going, Joelle? Good.
We'd never ever taken on a challenge this big, and John had never built a structure out of wood this big either. Well, thanks to a lot of very hard work, we've got here, to this pretty pivotal moment. With a new bathroom being fitted by our friend George, and John getting the boards up on the roof of what will become our living room, we're getting ever closer to a watertight and insulated space that we can start to nurture into our future temporary home.
Heavy. Good news though, only got another 8 to do. Welcome back, folks. Although 8 might be a bit too many. I mean, we've already got 2 up here. Definitely feels like that's a quarter of the roof, which would mean we'd need 8. Yeah, I think we're going to need 8. A couple of planks of wood too. Let's call that 3 pieces of wood. Alright, that's not going to move. We've got a scaffold. This is going to be an interesting one, folks. Alright, so I've made a bit of a scaffolding. It's a bit of a makeshift scaffolding up here, just while I'm working on the roof. It's going to make life a little bit simpler and a little bit safer. This, of course, is the pagoda, or the pagoda. I'm not quite sure what you call it, but anyway, it's the thing we're going to grow roses over the top of, and maybe put a couple of pieces of plexiglass or covered it so that when the winter comes and the rain comes back again, the boys have got somewhere outside nice to play. But for now, I'm trying my hardest to get boards up on the roof. I've got 2 up so far, and I'm just going to fix them into place onto the beams. Now, I haven't fixed the beams yet into place, and the reason I haven't done that is because it's really easy to do it post putting these boards on. I just want to pin the boards and use the boards very square shape to make sure that the beams are very squarely on the house and very squarely in place. So basically just going to pin a couple of screws into each corner of the board just so that I've got that straightness going on, and then I'll fix the beams into place so that they don't move anymore. But for now, let's get some boards up. I've only got 3 with me at the moment. Maria's coming a bit later to give me some more. Let's get some boards up and let's see where we get to. Hopefully we can make it watertight so the next time it rains, it just doesn't matter. That's probably October. So first things I'm going to do is just line up this board with this beam so it's nicely square on, and there you go, like that. I can then fix that into place on the beam, and then I'll take a measurement from the wall to this edge here and make sure that at the end there it's the same as here, and then we know that we're coming square off of the wall. all the beams then should just slot into place. And then of course I can fix them. The way I'm going to do that, here we have the up support coming up. I'm going to put a piece of wood coming up onto here for this one. And then on the bottom part there, I'll just put some L brackets in just to hold that in place too. So, but here I'll put a piece of wood, douche, 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 douche. That'll hold that nice and secure. Let's just mark that up there, like that. All right. So then we can take this one here. Lots of measuring, folks. Lots and lots of measuring. Rather frustrating, actually. What have I done? I've made those 120 for the plasterboard, and these boards are 125. Let's go double check the plasterboard. I might want to cut these. Why don't they make everything the same width? Underneath this plastic is a whole bunch of plasterboard. Yeah, 120. So we've got the choice. We either make it for the easy for the plasterboard to go up onto those beams by making the 120 kind of work and fit, or we make it 125 for the board on top and make it easy for that. But I think we'll stick with the 120 because that's what I designed the beam supports to be. Means cutting all the boards. So last. Say that's gone up a lot easier than the other two. This is not as wide too. This 5 centimeters, so we can take 5 centimeters off of the boards, so they're the same width as the plasterboard. easier definitely to cut the board down on the floor before I put it up here, but getting that board up and down is a real pain. So. All right, well, I'm tough with that. So we've got equal distances between each one of those beams. It's all going in nice and square. Lots of looking up for you guys today. I suppose that's what happens when you make a roof. So I've pretty much run out of wood for now for the roof. I'm going to be looking at doing something a little bit different this afternoon after lunch. But what I could do first is just put in the pieces of wood and hold those beams into place. Make sure everything's locked down as it should be. One of the worries, of course, when you build a roof is if a gust of wind comes and lifts it off. So what we want to do is we definitely want to make sure that this roof is well locked into the walls, and the walls, of course, we've locked into the foundations quite nicely. Let's get those beams locked in. And also, I'm going to want to get rid of those blooming pieces of wire rebar sticking out the wall. They're starting to get dangerous, especially as we get closer to working towards the roof, the ceiling. Let's get rid of those first. Hello, Opie. What are you up to, buddy? Hey, you come to say hello? Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Come to check it all out. Look up there. Look. It's called a roof. Where's Crusoe and Sawyer? Hey, where are the boys? Have you abandoned them?
My love,
Yeah.
I'm here to bottle you.
That sounds a little bit violent.
Not that kind of bottle you. I'm here to bottle you.
Brilliant!
You're not drinking enough water, so you're officially told.
Yeah.
There's your bottle. I've got mine.
Does it make water taste better?
Yes, of course it does.
I don't know, I'm having some.
Magical.
Yeah.
Fear not, folks. I'm not going to cause harm to my amazing husband, but I am going to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, Bottle. I am obsessed with getting enough water every day. The impact it has on me is really, really massive. So I am delighted to have my new bottle to take with me wherever I go around the farm. With this little metal handle, it's super easy to transport, but it also has this very handy dual drinking system in the lid, so I can either use the straw or it has a clip top. These Hydro X bottles come in a range of different colours and sizes, so there's heaps to choose from, and the thing that makes them super unique is this bottom storage unit. Super handy if you're on daily meds, or even pop a tea bag in here, because the bottle's insulated and it will keep cold things cold for up to 24 hours and hot water hot for 12. Use our code 15newbies to get 15% off, and remember folks, drink that water.
Okay, my done. So I'm just looking at the product that you bought for the bathroom. I'm worried about the sink a little bit in terms of size. So can we just go and have a quick look at that?
Yeah.
Also, the cabinet underneath it, we were looking at that one. It was €800.
Yeah, we haven't bought anything because
No.
we said, oh, it's fine, I'll make one.
So 800 euros is a truly painful amount of money to spend on any cabinet, especially when...
Oh, it's a tiny sink cabinet, it's daft. So it's not going to happen.
So this is where the sink's going to go.
Yeah.
This is where the toilet's going to go.
Yeah.
This is where the shower's going to go. I've cut this piece of wood here. This is 50 centimetres by 40 centimetres. Okay. So I'm thinking that is probably as big as we want to go for a sink cabinet.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how that's going to look like that.
Should I get the tap?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go get the tap. I am going to fully admit to being a person that doesn't have the kind of vision that you need for interior design. So I can choose things in an individual light, like I individually like this sink, but I do struggle to see what they're all going to look like together. So
probably. So in terms of height, this is probably going to go around about that height there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's have a look at that tap. We're going to have a big mirror on the wall here.
Yeah.
You had an idea that it was going to be the...
I like the one in our bedroom that's like an archway shape. It's really nice.
Mirror.
Yeah.
And then in this corner here, we can have all sorts of things. You know, we can have a couple of little corner shelves or something like that. I'm being a bit careful at the moment because I don't want to drop the sink.
No, yeah, that would be bad.
I found a bedside table online, and I think we can change the way it's built to make it work as a under sink counter.
Would be so cool.
Yeah, we can wax the top of it, make it nice and watertight, waterproof. We can change the drawers because it's 2 drawers there. We can change the drawers so that they kind of have that U that fits around the internal workings of the drainage system, and I think it'll work.
And I like that sink.
Yeah.
That sink would look really nice on top of it, love.
So that's how it would look.
So cool. I think I did all right.
Yeah, I think that'll be great.
And there's enough space around here for toothbrushes, like a toothbrush holder.
We don't need that because in the corner
have shelves
here,
and things.
in the corner here,
Yeah.
we can put a little shelf.
Yeah, cool, perfect.
You know?
Love, I'm excited. I did all right, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
The preamble you all missed was John coming and calling me out the office going, that sink you bouught's not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to send it back. We have to find another one. And I was like, no ways, man. I like the sink. So I'm pleased. The other thing I want to say about bathroom fittings, because this bathroom is costing us some money, and we have spent a bit of money on nice fittings. Now, we had some very sound advice from some lovely, lovely patrons of ours who've become very dear friends called Sue and Chris, who we stayed with in the UK recently at their incredible 5-star bed and breakfast just near the Forest of Dean. And this is a shameless plug for the place because it was unbelievable. I'll include some shots of it here while I'm rambling so that you can see how beautiful it was. It was like the quintessential English kind of home, beautiful home. It just, the way they've done it is just beautiful, and we drew so much inspiration from their taste and style. But the one piece of advice Sue gave me was spend money on bathroom fittings, because they installed their bathrooms 9 years ago and they are still pristine. Anyway, if anyone's looking for a place to stay in the UK, we'll pop the link to Blaisdon House in the description below for you, and check it out. And we couldn't recommend it enough. It was just beautiful. And Sue and Chris, thank you so much again for having us. Right, next thing, love.
Yeah, lighting, yes, absolutely. Well, I'm waiting for the wood to come. Okay. So while I wait, time to do something else.
Okay, cool. So we need to figure out lighting, and it's pretty important in here because it's such a small space.
Yeah.
We have got one piece of the puzzle, which is really exciting.
Okay.
Which is this beautiful lamp, which is a Moroccan ceiling lamp. And actually, we've always eyed these out when we've gone on our trips to Morocco. I love Morocco, but shopping in Marrakesh is not my favourite thing. And if you've been, I think you will know why. So being able to buy it off Etsy, a real, I don't know, a bonus.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've honestly dreamt of having one of these lamps for ages. So.
That's going to be cool, isn't it?
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
And they throw the most amazing, like, shadows and light and stuff everywhere. So, okay, you're taller.
All right.
You go and put it in place. Down the stairs we go.
So what we've got is a fairly awkward electrical system here. This is what we've got here. We've got an old light fitting, a bit gnarly. I need to chase up the wall for a cable and then poke a hole through there and run the cable along the ceiling. And the reason why we can't chase into the ceiling is we've got beams, concrete reinforced beams, structural beams that come across this way. So I can't chase through those beams. That would be a nightmare. So I've literally got to go up into the attic with a drill hole and then run the cable along here. And I think this you want...
Oh yeah, can we wide angle everything so that you guys
Is that right? So somewhere in the middle, or?
Yeah, I think the middle, isn't it?
In the middle, okay. So,
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you guys can get a sense of that, but I think it's going to look beautiful.
like here.
Yeah. Hanging lower though, no?
Well, you don't want to bash your head on it.
Yeah, so just so you get a sense, we've got this stairwell that winds around. John's going to build that big bookcase here so that we've got the banister in place.
Yeah.
And then this needs to hang somewhere with the bookcase being considered. So either it goes directly above the landing there, I think, with its full length.
Yeah.
Or it comes here with its full length between the bookcase and the stairs. Or it goes a bit shorter like you are there
I
in
think
the middle.
somewhere here is nicer, kind of on
Okay.
you.
Yeah, all right.
I have to chase in that cable and pull it across here before we start fixing anything in here. I can't build a bookshelf here until we fix this wall here, which we're going to do tomorrow, and until we've rendered and put in new windows. That's all probably going to turn up in the next episode. Fingers crossed. I've ordered the glass for those windows. I'm going to build them myself. Carlos is coming to help me do some rendering on this wall. I'm not sure quite how we're going to do that just yet, but we need to make it so that this sits comfortably inside a wall. We need to also fix that down there and put some sort of a reinforced lintel. So there's a lot to do in this very small space. And then finally, we'll re-render all of the walls, make them nice and smooth, paint it, and then hang a light.
Right, so following on from a previous episode where I gave a little tour of this stone house and kind of what we were thinking, we had quite a few questions from people who don't quite understand the full-on layout of what we're up to, why we're moving and why we're knocking houses down and why we're not moving the kitchen, or what are we doing with the house, or why are we moving into a house that's smaller than the one we're in. So I'm just going to give you a really, really quick rundown, but everything you need to know is in our previous videos. I know that's asking a lot of your time to go back and watch them all and catch up, but for those of you that are watching every single episode and are following our story play by play, I don't want to kind of, bore you guys with things you already know. So I'm going to try and strike the balance between those of you that are feeling like you've got gaps missing and those of you that don't. So bear with me, everybody. Okay, I'm going to turn you around and show you what our courtyard looks like so that you can get a lay of the land overall. So this house is the one that we are currently living in with the green kitchen, which John built himself. And right next door is the stone house, which we are renovating with the extension. Now, there used to be the derelict house there, which we knocked down not that long ago. And the reason that we are moving into here and not remaining in here is because the new house that we're going to build has to be built on the original footprint of the houses we already have. And so this house is going to be knocked down. I hope that clears that up. The other question that we're getting asked a lot is, why are we not moving the kitchen and recycling it? We are. Parts of it anyway. A couple of things to bear in mind. That's the first ever kitchen that John built. So there are things that he wants to perfect with a newer build that he thinks he can do a bit better a second time round. We will find a home for it, regardless of what happens. I think that answers the most dominant questions, which is why are we knocking houses down? Why are we moving? Oh, actually, the other thing that you asked was, why are you moving into the stone house if you're still not going to have a second bedroom for the boys? Why aren't you making a second bedroom for the boys? All really good questions. The honest answer is we just don't have the space. We don't have an option. We were going to put a mezzanine in here, but there isn't quite enough room for a mezzanine. And like I explained in one of our other videos, the boys are used to sleeping with us in our bed, and I think that we would just end up going up and down a mezzanine ladder all night, either carrying toddlers or placating toddlers, or it just sounds exhausting to me. So I'd rather carry on as we are. So we're going to try and partition the bedroom to some extent so that the boys are in their own beds in a bunk bed and we are in our bed and have our bed back, basically. So we're going to try and make the best of the situation we have, which is a situation that doesn't have a lot of space. But often, to get to the magic, you've got to be a little bit uncomfortable. So we're embracing the discomfort, we're embracing the lack of space, in the knowledge that it's all going to be so worth it when one day we're sitting in our beautiful stone house that we've built from scratch, with all of our dreams and kind of wishes coming true, and we'll know that it was all worth it in the end. All right, love. You went to the shops. You got a bulb.
There we go.
It works.
It works.
We have
Now,
light.
the question
that's
is,
bright.
which switch? Not that one.
And not that one. Oh,
That one. Okay, right inside switch.
okay.
What about this switch down here? Also, that's very
Love
good.
it.
What about up here?
Oh my gosh.
3 points to turn off.
If there's
on.
one thing in this house that was done really nicely, it's the electric.
It's alright, yeah.
Right, okay, crack on.
Crack on. Let's go and have a look in that roof.
Not you, little man.
Are you coming up too, Crusoe?
Yeah.
Mummy says no.
Mum says yes.
Mum says no.
Alright. Well, that means I've got to take some tiles off the roof to get into the roof.
Okay. How? No, Chris. Buddy. Down you come, please.
Why?
Because you're not a grown-up yet, darling.
Well, the chicken said the chicken and egg.
Yeah, you should go check if the chickens have made an egg. How's it looking?
You're going to have to come up too, darling.
Smell it from here.
All right, folks. I'm going to have to get in there. But we'll see you next episode and we'll show you exactly what's going on down there. And we'll get that light fitted and we'll get the rest of the roof done and we'll get some windows put in and then we'll get the bathroom done. And then before you know it, clickety click, we've got an extension that's ready and a house that's ready to move into. Can't wait. Remember, if you've enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'd really love to have you along for the adventure. It's been a great episode and we have loved spending time with you. Thanks very much.